All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Monster of the Week tonight. I'm sorry that we are a minute late. We had to talk. Politics, 20th century politics. We were really trying to figure some things out. It was a very high level academic discussion. That was going on
Carter's fault. I think that was.
That's true. It's true. Man loves peanuts that much.
It's true. You do really? I like peanuts a lot too. Actually,
I've got a fucking jug of them here on my desk. I can't say anything.
I used to until they stopped liking me.
Oh my God! Seriously,
no.
Our marriage went through some stress when that happened. When
stress.
It was like she can't eat. All within the span of like a month. I'm sharing. I probably shouldn't share this, but all within the span of a month, it was like no peanuts, peanut butter, or tomato sauce. Like anyone who knows has been on any of my streams knows that half my family is like Italian mafia, New York people, right? And so like that was rough. I'm not gonna lie. We almost didn't make it.
So here we are.
Here we are playing Monster of the Week.
You did it.
The
That's
real
why Jeff
monster
has the hidden war of peanuts and tomato sauce. And
yeah. All right. So we're starting a new game. We're getting back to our every other week. You can see we've sort of shifted a few of the groups around. We've got Adam and Bert on the same stream together. We're going to have another group next Monday. So we're going to go back and forth again as we've been doing for a while now. Tonight though, we're going to do session 0. So we're not actually playing a mystery or an adventure yet. We haven't built anything yet. We have some options. I think everyone has come to the table with like 3 or 4 different playbook options. But we're also going to we're bringing into the game a couple of the new stuff that's come out recently for Monster of the Week. If you're unfamiliar, PBTA game powered by the Apocalypse. First time I'm ever going to run one. I've played them before, but I've never got to run one before. So I'm kind of excited. Has anyone here? Let's see. I know Melissa hasn't played a PBTA game. Adam, have you played before?
Yes.
Okay. So I think Melissa's the only newbie here. I think everybody else, the rest of us have either played or at least or run. So this shouldn't be too bad. So pretty simple game, very cinematic, which is like, I like to run games that way anyway. So I feel like this is going to be a good fit. But then I say that, and probably in 2 weeks, I'm going to want to cancel this. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So
as long as you keep me, Jeff, it's okay.
Of course, yeah, you're not going anywhere. You're contractually obligated for like the next 20 years.
Not fired today.
Oh goodness, man! Imagine if I could pay you. That'd be great. All right, so let's dive in. So we haven't decided anything yet. If you're unfamiliar with Monster of the Week, it is very much a game like originally built around like kind of supernatural Buffy the Vampire Slayer kind of deal, right? Where you have monster hunters each week. It's a new monster, hence the name. And through various play of mystery, you figure out a weakness against that monster, and you usually take the monster out in some fashion. And so that's kind of where we're going to go with it. Now, the standard Monster of the Week is set basically modern day ish, right? And you form characters that kind of fit that mold. However, very recently, just a couple of weeks ago, the Codex of Worlds expansion supplement came out. And this offered some other ways that you could play Monster of the Week. So you could still play it in the modern setting, which we still might do. But they added a couple things to help define the group and to help sort of reframe potentially the campaign. So there's what are called campaign frameworks, which could change the setting. And then there's team playbooks that allow us to have a more defined group and then even get some abilities in some way. I almost liken it in some fashion to like the crew from Blades in the Dark versus like the individual playbook, like when you get like that kind of together. So it kind of has that sort of feel to it in some fashion. So I think we need to get started. So let's ask some big questions first. So tone of the game. What are we thinking? How much? So I'm trying to get an idea. We talked about pulpiness. Or how ridiculous and over the top are we getting? Are we like going like full like Shaun of the Dead, Army of Darkness, like absolute nonsense? Yes. Who cares? Okay, we're all on board for that.
If you don't play in it, we're gonna take it there. So
I feel like let's just lean into it, right? That's what I feel like.
Yeah,
let's just lean into it.
Let's just start there.
That is where we will go. It's true.
I think if we build it from the ground up, knowing that this is going to be Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Basically, that's what this is going to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we're okay. Okay, so that's the sort of the tone of the game. It's going to be comedy horror is kind of where we're at with it. Perfect. A lot of pulp, a lot of nonsense, and that's great. So we've got that down. That's what I figured. I figured I'd ask the question, but I kind of knew the answer. And now let's decide a big question. What's our setting and our framework going to be? Are we doing modern? I know in some of our pregame chats, we were talking about modern and gothic. We're kind of like the two leaders in the pack. There were a couple others. So if you haven't got the Codex of Worlds, just to let other folks know what you can do, there's like a new setting for like this strange old house, which define like your sort of like house on what's it called? The Haunting of Hill House. Like it's a specific locale, or Lock and Key, if you're familiar with Lock and Key, kind of like that. There's Dreaming with the Gods, which is kind of like a dream world / like Renaissance setting. There's Monster Marshes, which is very much like The Witcher in some ways, and then there's Bone Spear, which is like Stone Age monster hunting. But I think, but we can open this up. But I think in the chat we were talking about either sticking to modern or doing gothic. Do we want to make a case for anything? We want to chat about that, figure that out. What are we thinking?
The location locked I wasn't too big on, but when you kind of threw it out there, like Bly Manor, Hell House, or
Lock and Key.
Yeah, like it sounds like it could be interesting.
Okay.
But still, my two picks were as well modern and gothic.
So
Okay, no los dos.
there's also, I think, when we get into team playbooks, I think there's a team playbook. I'm trying to remember the name off the top of my head that could also have some of that flavor of Lock and Key. So like as in like we're defending or located around a singular a singular area.
That's
so
the Guardians of the Borderland.
Yeah, that one's like the one where it's like the borderland between the monster world and the real world. So that could work.
Yeah, like the liminal space kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, Lock and Key has the portal and stuff underneath. Not that we go to the other side, but has that kind of idea. And then there's there's the Night Shift, which is specifically about a workplace, and the workplace is weird. So that could kind of work as well. I think it could have that location if we wanted a stationary like location kind of game. I think that's another one that could work. And then even Suburban Watch Group, I suppose you can make it a neighborhood. Like we can rephrase that. So just some options. I don't know. What the rest
touring band.
Yeah, touring band has come up. Like that's come up a few times. So I know that's definitely a possibility. I don't know. What do you all think?
I like the idea of going different places. Like I would argue, like if we do the stationary house, it would be nice if the house, like if a door can open to a random place. Like so each mission you go through a different door, you go to a different place. You still get the excuse to go. Yeah.
My vote's for a modern, whichever you do. It's done.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good with modern as well.
I lean more towards modern as well. For the big question, I would lean towards modern.
Okay.
Stone Age sounds interesting, but I think with the type of humor we're going with, modern would probably be best.
I agree. Yeah. Like Stone Age definitely had my interest too, but I think because we're going to go more comedy horror, I think modern makes a lot of sense. Okay.
What's that one game we played, Adam?
There are many.
At your place with all the lanterns.
Oh, Kingdom Death.
Yeah. The Kingdom Death. Yeah. Thank you, Melissa. The Stone Age reminded me of Kingdom Death.
You just didn't know Kingdom Death. It just like was freaking me out a little bit.
Fucking mind blanks. Like I got a story about Taco Bell, and like that's why my mind's gone tonight. So
the thing that's crazy about Kingdom Death is like you're Stone Age, and the people that come and attack your village are like Renaissance.
Yeah.
But anyways,
So, I love Kingdom Death, but I definitely don't think that there's kind of the over the top Shaun of the Dead horror in it.
Right.
Like it's, I like, so if we're kicking, we're sticking with that tone. I don't know if that'll, but I hear what you're saying. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right. And, like I was saying earlier, we were kind of torn between Gothic and modern day. Why not both? I mean, we could all play goths, like in the modern age.
It's a goth touring band.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got modern. We're good. All right. So then let's talk about So if we're good with modern, and I think that was where we were all kind of leaning anyway, so it's fine. So a couple other quick questions on that. Do we want, when we say modern, are we literally talking like 2023, or did we want to like decade set this, like with the 90s or the 80s or the 70s or whatever? Like, did we want to,
I was about to throw out the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would also make it so for you, that also would mean no easy access by cell phone access or internet, because mobile, either one of those is not really common.
And we
Exactly.
did. Oh, what was the? God, I can't remember any words today.
Kingdom
Jeff.
Death
Monster.
Things from the Flood.
Taco Bell.
Things from the Flood. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's right.
I'm
that was
figuring
very-
out where you're headed.
Thanks, Melissa. I appreciate
Yeah, we
that.
did Things for the Flood a couple years ago. That was in the 90s. That was 1993.
That was
That was the year that I based that entire campaign was based around Alice in Chains.
Can we do?
I'm just saying. Oh,
Can we do late 90s? That way I don't fret a whole bunch about, did that come out in 96 or 93 or say late 90s?
I say we go with the 80s. Let's go with
By
the
the
80s.
late
then.
90s,
Okay.
like grunge has kind of faded out, and we got a little poppy stuff by then, so I was a little nervous.
But
Late
you
80s,
don't like new metal?
Listen. Oh my gosh. I can see.
Late 80s will be the decade of BBSs, so a lot of our monster hunting info would be like scrutinizing dial-up BBSs, getting information that way.
Okay,
Kind of cool.
so is everybody okay with the late 1980s? Should we do like alternate universe? We're talking about politics and presidents. We should do an alternate universe where Dukakis
Alternate
won in
universe.
1988. We should do that.
Oh my
88.
gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he still drives that tank.
I used to have a shirt when I was a kid. I don't know where it came from. I think my dad had it, and it said "Vote Dukakis, bitches." Like that was the shirt. I love that shirt so much. It was hilarious. All right, late 1980s.
Yeah, late 80s going into early 90s. That's a fun
Okay.
period.
Perfect. I love it. Okay. All right, I'll come back to like geographical account a little bit because let's figure out our team playbook. So the next thing is let's get our team concept, and part of that is going to be team playbook. So I already mentioned this just for the stream. Like team playbooks are a new thing. It's optional, but we're going to do it because it sounds like fun. But basically, it allows you all some control over like who your enemies are going to be, who your allies are going to be. It gives us like extra moves and stuff like that we could potentially do. And then throughout the course of play, after every session, when you do your XP questions and things like that, you can mark XP towards your own sheets, your hunter sheets, or you can optionally mark XP towards your team playbook sheet, and that allows you to kind of build your team up as you go. So there are a bunch. So just to give like a quick run through of the names, there's Agents in Black, which kind of like a sort of, you can kind of figure out what that is, sort of like like a CIA, NSA,
X-Files.
FBI kind of thing. X-Files, exactly. Always on the Road, which isn't the touring band because that's a separate one, but it is people who are, as the title suggests, it's the constant movement. There's the Chosen One and Entourage, where one person plays the Chosen One and everybody else is their entourage, as you might expect. Guardians of the Borderland, I know that's one of the ones that I think we've narrowed it down to as a possibility. That's where the hunters are wardens of a liminal region, somewhere where the borders of the world are thin, where monsters and magic can slip through and cause trouble. And this would allow us to kind of pick, well, I'm trying to see the things that would allow us to pick. Allow us to pick different enemies, different team allies, and then allow us to sort of define somewhat like what that borderland might be, what that other world is like, whether it's like hell or whether it's something else that's kind of creeping between. There's the International Monster and Paranormal Service, which is like a kind of a militaristic or paramilitary kind of theme. Interdimensional Crisis Team, which is full on bonkers, kind of a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of flavoring in some ways, like you're going, or Sliders meets Guardians of the Galaxy kind of deal. The Last Survivors, which, as you might guess what that means, apocalyptic stuff, post-apocalyptic. League of Double Lives, I think that they talked about like Penny Dreadful. It's kind of like this one. Mercenaries, pretty straightforward. Mystery Club, very Scooby-Doo-ish. The Night Shift, which is where everyone works at a specific locale and something strange is going on. Suburban Watch Group, Neighborhood Watch, basically. Touring Band, as we've already mentioned. Whistleblowers, where you work within a Monster Hunter organization, but you think something is going wrong with that group on the interior. And then you've got Wild Hunt Fugitives, which is the Wild Hunt, though the art is pretty cool because it's not like people on horses, it's people on motorcycles. So anyhow, I think I went through and I looked at our chat, and we had the ones that were brought up were Always on the Road, Interdimensional Crisis Team, Guardians of the Borderland, Touring Band, and Suburban Watch Group. Those are the ones that were brought up. Doesn't mean we're limited to that, but
Yeah.
what are we thinking?
I mean, I love band, but if we're doing like late 80s, early 90s, Sliders does kind of make sense.
That's the IMPS.
That's the Interdimensional Crisis Team, I think.
Yeah.
That's the one
Or
when
possibly the Borderlands, if it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I'm understanding it's
Well,
The Borderlands,
Like a
like the Hellmouth
portal.
and Angel.
That's what
like
I always
Yes.
think of is
That's
the,
okay.
yeah,
the Hellmouth
yeah.
and Buffy.
yeah.
That doesn't sound bad.
So Interdimensional Crisis Team, just to read it for folks, your world isn't the only one that needs monster hunting help from time to time. And when others do, you travel through portals, loopholes, and other oddities to help. The team playbook is a perfect way to figure out the setting, etc., etc. Fits over the top parody games. More serious stories about interdimensional problems are probably better handled by the Guardians of the Borderland. So Guardians of the Borderland is where like the borders of the world are thin, where monsters and magic can slip through and cause trouble. So in some ways, it kind of seems like the Guardians of the Borderland is like our stories are going to take place here with the monsters coming through, whereas the Crisis Team might be we're going through porters to other places.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like that's sort of what we're looking for is sort of that mobility in whichever one we go. That kind of gets the sense where like everybody's looking for something that's mobile, like we're moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a
whatever
locked
version
in
that takes.
location might be fun, but yeah, I'm feeling the urge to explore.
Okay.
Yeah. And we could potentially have like, we probably have a home base of sorts, like a return point, but
So I'm digging into the team playbook a little bit here just to see the types of things that you guys. So some of the style and improvement questions from Guardians of the Borderlands, like this is something you would pick. You can pick either an ancient oath. These are the examples. You are the holders of an ancient obligation to guard the world's border. Decide what the oath requires of you. You could be wrong place, wrong time. You were there to stop the first incursion and now feel obliged to prevent anything else coming through. Another option is born and raised. You all grew up or settled here. Dimensional incursions are a part of life, even if a lot of people don't like to admit it. That kind of thing. So, I mean, it sounds to me like it's not stationary. It sounds like incursions can be different places. And so the game is about you guys hunting out different incursions, like different places. So I think that can still be mobile. So I think if that's what we want to do, we can certainly do that.
cool.
Or there's the band.
Yeah.
There's
And then
the
there's
band.
always on the road. There's just like, if you don't want to do the band, there's just always on the road, which is pretty standard. Every week is a new town.
Yeah, it's like
So,
Supernatural, right?
Kind of like Firefly,
From town
too.
to town.
Yeah.
Or Kung Fu,
Well,
Yeah,
there's
going
that.
from town to town.
With David Carradine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think we've got it narrowed down then. So I guess big question is do you guys want to be part of a band? And if you do, we know what it is. If you don't, then we've got it narrowed to like two other choices.
It might
I
be
am-
interesting- Go ahead.
I'm give or take on the band because if we're doing modern, like I very much like I've read through the playbooks and there's one I really like,
Mhm.
and I don't know if touring band fits it. I could make it fit if that's what everyone else wants, but
Yeah.
But if that's what you're excited to play,
Yeah,
Well, Bert,
no,
you
if
also
you
wanted Gumshoe too. You were looking at Gumshoe as a possibility,
was
which
Bert.
we were saying
Yeah.
might. I know that's what I was saying, like which might not fit the band thing. So if that was your number one,
Yeah. But a gumshoe could be really useful if we're constantly going someplace new. You
Right.
need somebody who's sharp that can pick things up.
Oh, and their
So-
skill lists revolve around knowing people all over the place, having a
Yeah.
lot of contacts. So
yeah.
so
I
it's
guess
between band and
yeah.
what else?
I mean, basically, I'm like, before we get to what else, I'm just saying, do we want to be part of a band? Like, if we want to be part of a band, the answer is 100% clear what we're doing. But if we don't want to do that, then we have a couple other options.
I did that a lot in my 20s. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
All right, no
Pass
band.
on
Removing
band
band.
then.
No
Pass
band.
on
Okay.
band.
So then our choices are, if we just want like supernatural style, always on the road. If we want to do Guardians of the Borderline, we're going to like incursions where like, I don't know, portals or hell gates or something are open up and we're figuring them out. That's what Guardians of the Borderline is. Interdimensional Crisis Team, if we want to, I mean, just to give you an idea of what's the choices you might make in Interdimensional Crisis Team, you could be well prepared. You keep track of worlds that might need monster hunting help and have procedures for reaching and helping them. You could be led by fate, where the universe wants you to help where you're needed most. At the end of each session, you ask, it's very multiversy. So this is a very multiversy kind of game.
I would almost go more like, that sounds like a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're just on the road.
Most appealing.
I always on the road. I think I like the most as well.
That could also be Scooby-Doo.
It could be very Scooby-Doo.
Well, Scooby-Doo, there are some things. If we really did want to go Scooby-Doo, there are actually a couple other things, like optional rules for like non-lethal play and stuff like that. And then that would also be Mystery Club, is the specific kind of Scooby-Doo-ish stuff. So always on the road.
I have a hard time seeing this crew going non-lethal.
Yeah, that's a little too
Yeah.
much pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, so always on the road. I think I definitely like always on the road, and I would say Guardians of the Borderland. I think the Interdimensional Crisis Team looks a little tricky because it means I have to come up with parallel
Brand new.
multiverses.
Yeah.
I don't
I
wanna get
agree.
sued by Disney or something. No.
I'll fight them for you, Jim.
All right.
I'm good with
Nice
always on the
knowing you,
road.
Okay. Always on the road.
I'm not legally fighting them. I'm just gonna drive down to Florida and fist fight them.
One at a
Okay.
time. Call them out.
I hear the mouse is
Bob, I'm coming for you.
He'll fist fight a person he thinks is Walt Disney.
He had a mustache. How was I supposed to know?
All right. So we're doing always on the road. So then I got some questions for you all. Let's do the playbook. And we can cycle back to this at the end to see if we want to make any changes, but let's just start for now. So as a team playbook, you get to pick your style. An associated improvement question, you get to pick a starting team enemy, ally, move, and 2 asset selections. If you want to follow along, go ahead. It's in the Codex of Worlds PDF, but I'm gonna tell them that. All right, so style. These are the choices, but you can always go custom, and we can make something up if we want to. So the one choice is family. You're all family or as good as. So at the end of each session, then you're going to be asking, did you talk about or pointedly not talk about something that was troubling a team member? It could also be vocation. That's another option. Someone has to do it, and you happen to be able. And so at the end of each session, you ask, did we save the people we went there to protect? And then the third option is excitement. Monster hunting sure is a new thrill every time. At the end of each session, you ask, did we take extremely dangerous risks? And then there's custom. And custom is just like we make it up. And we make up like our little blurb story, and then we make up what our basic end of session question is.
So what was the
like
first one again?
and 3.
First one was family. Yeah.
Family.
So-
All right.
so
I'm right there, 1 and 3.
and
okay.
and you don't talk about a specific problem?
Yeah, so the advancement is basically
or pointedly not talk about. Meaning like you would
okay.
avoid. You go out of your way to avoid.
This would be up to whether or not I play something specific or not. But if I do play it, I was thinking possibly monstrous zombie. No one ever talks about it. No one ever talks about
it. I love it.
That sounds fun. That does. I was leaning towards
too.
excitement just because I didn't want to
well, and I think this
force
is
anyone into a corner. But
brings improvement. So like how we improve our group is with this. So
Is
I
the
think
question.
kind of like what, like almost XP questions kind of a thing from, some other games. So like, I think I would lean 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we should still we can
do the other one.
It's okay.
Yeah,
there's
or
no
real
reason you
family.
can't.
or like family, but for whatever reason, we're still we're in it because we like doing it.
Okay.
All in
Bert, did you have a
denial
thought?
about.
I'm in the same boat. 1 or 3 would work just fine. And I like number 3 and that we're a family of sorts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys
I
can
love the
still
idea
be
that we have a
family.
family member that's a zombie and we just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Are we playing the
This is so good.
Fast and Furious? Is that what we're playing now?
Oh God! Now we're gonna get
All
sued by
about
Vin
family.
Diesel too. Oh man!
I'll fight
Oh,
you
man.
too, Vin Diesel.
Oh man, that'd
Well,
mean
he
I'd
can
have
come-
to drive a black Charger.
Vin, if you have a
play.
problem, you can
Yeah,
just
he
come
can
play with
join
us,
us.
buddy. Just come on,
Yeah.
Just hit me up. I don't know why I did that. You probably don't do that. You know, whatever. Anyhow, are we doing
I
excitement?
mean, we're doing 80s. It's okay.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Excitement. Yeah.
All
Excitement.
right. Excitement. Done. All right. So at the end of each session, we asked, did we take extremely dangerous risks? And if it's yes, you
Oh.
basically get to mark your improvement.
Oh, we are
there
going
we
to do
go.
so
That's us.
good.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
So good.
perfect. Okay.
That's us.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you'll eventually get like new moves and new allies. Okay. So then this is going to be pretty fun. So one of the things is like you guys get to define your chief nemesis. And now obviously I'm going to take your ideas and run the hell with it and do whatever I want with it. But you guys get to establish it right now. Chat, feel free to help on this. So there are obviously some options that we can just take from the book, or we can always just do something else and customize it. So the options from the book, Halphus, a demon who has it in for you. So it could be very demon oriented, supernatural. All the vampires. That's the second one.
Not just one, all of them.
All of them.
Dr. Crepuscle, who steals unnatural power from captured monsters. The King in Yellow, a god force of corruption, decadence, and disease. A cabal of ghosts trying to secure the secret of returning to life. And then there's other, where we just kind of fill in the blank. So
I love mad scientists that steal powers from monsters. And if we went over the top, like that's a great excuse for just, you can have standard monsters and every now and then you have some weird conglomeration of nonsense. Like,
I know, but all the vampires.
All the vampires.
Right?
true.
if you
All
want
of them.
vampires, don't worry. Every session isn't necessarily going to be like every session's like a different episode, right? So we're dealing.
You know, I'm not against all the vampires.
Yeah.
I like the
what do we
first
do
three.
to make all of them after us? That's the question.
Yeah, I'm fine not doing King in Yellow because we've done Impossible
Right.
Landscapes, so we've done a ton
Yeah.
of King in Yellow stuff. So I'm cool with avoiding that.
Yep.
So
I do think the doctor is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Of
Puscule.
the other option.
What was the first one?
Halphus, a
Halphus,
demon who has it in for you.
Hmm.
So if you go with the zombie, the Dr. Crepuscle, it could be why he's after us is like, you should resist. He wants you.
Yeah. We could do that. And because we
sounds
don't
fun.
talk about it, we're like, man, this guy's annoying.
Why does he keep bothering us?
It's for the deep psychological scarring for us knowing he died like sessions ago, and we're just not talking about it.
Mhm.
Well, this is just your chief nemesis, so I can always use them at any
Mhm,
point. So
mhm.
even if we liked vampire, I can still throw some vampires at you and some demons at you from time to time. But do we want to say Weird Doctor is your chief nemesis?
I'm good. with
I
that.
like
Right.
the chief being a singular person.
Yeah.
Mm,
I hear
like
you.
having an actual face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're locking in, and we'll cycle back at the end after you pick your handbooks, and we'll see if anything came up that we might want to change. All right, then you get to choose so you get to basically choose a team ally. So you've got hang on, let me make sure we're doing this correct. So you get enemy, ally, move, and then 2 assets. Okay, so allies. Again, some options, and then we can go off the board and do what we want. Detective Barnes, a police detective who saved you from a monster way back when. They'll help you out with some information now and then, and possibly more when you're on their turf. There's Bingo, an always online researcher into strangeness. That's probably not going to work as much. Well, I mean, we could still.
I mean, they could be one of the few people that have.
Well, it's not so much online. They could
BBSs.
still. We could.
They've got a
reflavor it.
newsletter.
Yeah, we can reflavor it in a way that'll work for late 80s or 90s.
I would really like to say that I saw Bingo.
Mm.
I got really excited. And then I read Bingo and that excitement just died because I'm like, yes, our team is like the local old lady, like Bingo. Like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Should just shift and start running Brindlewood Bay now? Is that what we're doing? Same system. Same system. I told Ashley I'd run that for her on Saturday at some point. So that'll
Okay.
happen. Okay, so we got so then there's Sapphire, who has the ability to manipulate time in certain ways. You suspect she She might be a very long-lived or even immortal person. She's not always easy to contact and can appear unexpectedly. You can have another group of traveling hunters as an ally team. They can back you up monster hunting. You've helped each other out several times when things got tricky. You can also have universal cleanup services, an ally
That's
team.
my vote right there.
I agree. We're
We are so
lucrative.
lucrative for this cleaning service. It just follows in our wake.
It's Steve's Squeaky Cleaners. It's coming back. That's where it started.
Wow.
Universal Cleanup Services is an ally team, a franchise that specializes in cleaning up messes like crime scenes and monster attacks. Or we go off the board.
If we want to do the bingo old ladies, that's another group of hunters.
That is oh
my
Retired
gosh.
Golden
Oh.
Girls Hunter Group. Oh my god, I like that.
I really like
that's
that.
tough
I
between that and
really
the cleanup crew, but the old lady hunting crew, like they're the vets. We're the new upstarts.
I saw how excited Bert was about Universal Cleanup, and I'm like, I really like that excitement. But then again, Golden Girls hunting squad that we meet up with.
What
amazing.
What
And
if the
also-
Golden Girls retired
code
from
for
monster hunting and
Yes.
started a cleanup
I
company?
was thinking the same
And
thing.
this is just the first one. So once we hit improvements and we
Can always get
cash
more.
them in,
That's a good point.
we get a new team ally or moves or
Mm.
different things. So this is just where we're starting.
That's a great point, actually. Yeah. So,
Universal Cleanup Crew is a group of grandmothers that follow us around.
okay.
Amazing.
So-
Oh, I love it.
We're like
All right.
money in the bank for them.
Yeah. You're paying
Okay.
for my slot machine debt. They go to the casino because I don't know what else old people do except for go to the casino.
No,
All right.
I keep saying that, Chuck. You did this soon
The
enough.
tech of old ladies
Yeah.
emote is
Perfect.
suddenly going perfectly in the chat.
Mhm.
For chat, you have an assignment right now. Come up with 5 old lady grandmother people, and that's going to be the team. That's your
Oh.
job while we keep going.
Good job,
Okay.
Chad.
All right. Next up, you guys get a team move. We all know what moves are. Moves are basically
Mhm,
are the
mhm.
various things that you can do throughout the game. You roll your 2d6, blah 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 blah. And so there are ones for teams, and you get to start with one. I'll give you the options. Home away from home. That's one option. Whenever
It's a
you
Waffle
arrive,
House. It's every Waffle House.
whenever you arrive in a new town, you immediately find a motel and a cafe that are friendly and welcoming. One or the other will turn out to have a connection to the mystery that brought you here, even if just by having a bystander come by. Geniality. When you meet a new person in town you haven't visited before, you get to roll charm. On a 10 plus, they are well disposed towards you. On a 7 to 9, they are still well disposed, but the keeper chooses some various wrinkles. Okay. And additionally, when you return to a town you've already visited, you always run into people that you've befriended previously. There's handy. You're all good at fixing stuff. Anything broken or messed up in the course of a mystery is repaired and ready to go before the next one. So like basically you have assets, and if any of them get tagged, totally destroyed, you can potentially, actually not, I think totally destroyed you can't do, but if any of them get damaged, you can repair.
Mhm.
No stick. You've had yourselves removed from official and law enforcement databases. You don't have to worry about misunderstandings from previous towns getting in the way of your hunts unless someone got annoyed enough to make it a personal vendetta. Monster journals. This is very Grimm-like, I think. When a mystery reminds you of something you've encountered before, you can consult your notes and tell the keeper what you think is the same. The keeper will say if you got it right, and if you're correct, you get some bonuses, etc. Something different, you get to take a move from another team playbook. So you go through and you just pick something from another team playbook. I would say just for expediency, why don't we not do that for the first move so that we all have time to look at the others? And same thing with change team style. So
I really like the first one, the Waffle House, and I like the no stick.
No stick and monster journals were mine, but I like the Waffle House.
No
Okay.
stick, I think, would be very useful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Monster journals can be fun. It's very Grimm-like. Home away from home. We've just got a really great membership card for like Motel 6.
Yeah,
Just-
it's an easy setup for every
yeah. I will say the monster journals, just so I give you all the information, like monster journals does have a mechanical roll bonus. Like when you do investigate a mystery or read a bad situation, like you actually do get mechanical bonuses. Whereas no stick, it's more like it changes the framework of the mystery, right? So like, but there's not like a role that it influences.
And then genealogy also helps with the roles.
Yeah, genealogy
is also.
Yeah, the other ones are all less like mechanical role influence and more just sort of situational.
If
But they
we
will still apply.
if we
I
go
mean, the
with
monster-
home away from home, we could have a pop-up camper.
But I think some of the idea for the home away from home is that we have places that we always run. I guess we could be running across people at the campgrounds.
You can still like we're going to get to the pop-up camper in a minute because we're going to get to
Oh, okay.
assets, and that might actually pop up in assets here.
All right.
So
Okay.
yeah.
I like the
Um,
idea of it being like a chain store of some kind that for whatever reason we've got an in with, and it's like they're in every town, everywhere you go, there's one.
I got an idea.
Like a
Okay
Radio
with
Shack.
that.
So we
Yeah.
good with that? Home away
I
from
love
home.
Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, home away from home. So
And
you get
Jeff,
a
I took
new-
notes of all the old lady names.
Thank you
we
very
have
much.
all
Oh,
those for
good.
Chad.
I was
Chad,
going to
thank you
copy
so
and paste
much.
it.
Thank you so much, Chet. Okay, so then there's assets. So assets, again, it's just like something you get two of them at the start, and by two of them I mean you get two check boxes. Now some assets are just takes one checkbox to get them. Some assets it takes two check boxes. So like they're a little bit more influential. So if, for instance, you wanted to do a pop-up camper, you can take mobile base as an asset. It would take up all of your check boxes, all of your starter check boxes, but you get a truck or a bus with bunks and mystery investigation supplies on board. So you could literally have a pop-up camper. That's
We
not
can
the
have
only thing.
individual transport and take something else. And we're a biker gang. We all have bikes because we're always on the road, right?
It could be a biker game.
So if
Yeah.
we take mobile base, that does kind of throw a wrench into individual transport
Mhm.
because we all couldn't feasibly have our own vehicle and the mobile base. And we've already got the home away from home. If we didn't have that, I would definitely vote for mobile base.
So if we were going to do like a camper, then the camper would be the mobile base.
Well,
that's just. I mean that was just my suggestion. Like if you really want it, that's a way to make it worth your while, because it's not just the fact that you have the camper, but it's that you have resources in it, right? So it's got mystery investigation supplies on board. So like you literally have stuff built into it. There's other ones. Let me go through the rest of them. See if any of these stand out to you. There's credentials, which is just a one checkbox. It's real or as good as real identification. They get you access to law enforcement and other official contacts. There's a lair, which is another 2-box one. That's a relatively secure space to use as a base, room for all your monster gear, etc. So like later seasons of like Supernatural, like they went back to the bunker and everything, right? There's what else there is? Hunter Roadhouses, a network of bars, diners, and motels where you can safely meet other monster hunters. Many are run by retired hunters. That's just a one check. There's Toolkit, which is one or two of your vehicles carry toolkits. You have most tools you'll need to repair or build something. There's the Mystical Ingredients Cabinet, a one check. It's a box with a wide range of frequently useful supplies for magical rituals. There's a slush fund. The team has access to a bank account that can pay for their day-to-day needs while monster hunting, and stretches to a big purchase every now and then. And then we define we sort of think about where it comes from.
stolen credit cards.
Like
That sounds
Supernatural.
familiar. Armory. One of your cars has a well-stocked weapons chest. Each mystery, every hunter may take one extra regular weapon. Also, once per mystery, one hunter may ask the keeper if the armory has a particular special weapon. If yes, you can take it. If no, you take +1 forward. Just bonus on a roll. Field medics. You have enough supplies and training to treat one hunter per night as if they had a proper doctor or trip to the emergency room. So those are the options. There's also custom that we can potentially do, but we'll start there.
Just to throw an idea out there, might it be useful to see what we all are and then see what we don't have, and then we can circle back to this?
Yes,
and kind
absolutely.
of see
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. So the other thing before we get off of this and go into your hunter playbooks, there's the idea of patron, and like we've kind of danced around a little bit here. So it's an optional thing. It might, and in some ways, it's just a way to make it easier, or to give some more context or ways to make each starting scenario, starting mystery seem less repetitive. Like, hey, we just so happen to show up in this town and there's monsters here. We just happen to show up in this town. Patron is more like there's somebody kind of directing you or giving you leads, something like that. So like later years in Supernatural, we had like Bobby for a bit and stuff like that, for instance, so like it's that kind of idea. Do you have like a patron? It also could be like they even in the book described like X-Files had like the FBI is the patron, not Patreon, the patron, and like, Skinner and whatnot. So those are things like, do you want a patron?
I see some value in it.
Yeah,
just for the
maybe
fact
they don't
that-
show up every episode, but
Like Scooby-Doo with was it 13 Ghosts, where Vincent Price was their benefactor, sending them
I
out to
remember
catch
that
the
part.
ghosts.
Yeah. So something to think about.
And,
We don't have to
I would
necessarily
like the
commit to
idea of
it.
having like a touchstone for us, like someone that is there.
Helps keep us on track. Yeah.
Okay.
like
All right.
it's not always specific. It could be sending us in like go in this vague direction. You'll eventually run across what you need to run across. Okay.
I like that idea. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go yes for patron. We're thinking more of like an individual person. Are we thinking of it more like an individual? Because a patron I can do a lot with. So don't get, I can do a lot with them. Like I'm allowed to like take it, kind of run with it, turn them on you, make it a mystery, or I could just make it more straightforward. They call you up, say, hey, go to Detroit. There's something going down.
So an idea, since every time we go into a town, we've established that there's a place or a chain of places. It's always the same where we're always welcome. What if every time we get into a town, there's always like a message left for us? We don't know who the person is.
I like it.
They just leave a message for us every time we enter a new town.
That works. I like the idea of an individual more than I do of an organization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if we wanted organization, we would have chosen
Would've
like
picked-
one of the other team playbooks
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. I like that idea, Bert. Like the idea of like you just show up. There's like these cryptic messages and you've been following them and they take you to things. You don't necessarily know who's leaving them and what their purpose is, but they've been working so far and like you're helping people.
Yeah.
So you might as well kind of keep following it. I like that idea a lot. Okay. Well, we'll come back to assets in a bit. Let's then shift gears and let's start looking at 100 playbooks. So individual playbooks. Only rule here is no duplicates. I don't think we have any because because we're doing always on the road. Some playbooks some team playbooks will restrict which 100 playbooks you can be, but always on the road isn't one of them. So we should be good. So let's talk it out. Let's talk it out first, and then we'll like kind of walk through them. The ones that you guys want to pick. So who's got strong feelings?
Well, I do now.
I do.
Okay, so I got
Chuck.
Chuck and Adam do now apparently. Okay, so Chuck,
I
how about
really
this? Pitch us your
Yeah.
idea. We'll see if we find it good enough.
I would like to play the mundane playbook.
Okay.
Just a regular dude thrown into the situation. Doesn't really understand what's going on. But my idea for a character is just this ridiculously optimistic, the team mom always trying to take care and look after everyone, but just totally oblivious really to what's going on. Doesn't really understand it, but it's exciting and it's fun and we're having a great time. Let's just keep going, give team pep talks.
Okay.
Yeah, just completely unprepared and unaware, but he's still having a blast.
So just the flavor text from the book for the mundane, for those of you watching. You heard about how monsters only pick on people with crazy powers who can fight back on even terms? Yeah, me neither. But hell, I ended up on this monster hunting team, so I got to do what I can, right? So that's like the flavor. And so you would basically pick whether or not you're a kid, teen, adult, old person, friendly face. So there's a couple different options that you would basically pick out. Okay.
And you're super charming because whichever rating line you pick, you're
that's
super
what
charming.
that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, I want to play just this super nice, like a mixture of like the dude from Deadpool 2 and Ted Lasso and Phil from Modern Family. Like they just mush together.
All right. Does anybody else have interest in the mundane? Is there anybody out there that has? Nope. Adam,
Nope.
no. Bert, no. Okay. Chuck, congratulations. The mundane is yours. Chuck, what you're going to need to do while we kind of figure
Yes.
out everybody else, you need to look up the playbook. It's in the
got it.
the core rule book. So you're going to pick some stuff. You're going to do everything from like basically where the name is all the way down, but stop when you get to the part where it says introductions. So when you see the subheading for introductions, stop there. So you're going to basically be picking like your kind of your look.
Okay.
You're going to pick a rating, your stat array, a move or however many it tells you to take, and then some gear. But then stop when you get to introductions. We'll do all that together.
You got it.
Okay. Anybody else have a strong feeling towards one?
Yeah.
Adam's raising his hand, and as a teacher, I respect that.
Yeah.
What you got?
I am thinking monsters.
Okay, so you want to do the monstrous. So for the people watching, the monstrous, I feel the hunger, the lust to destroy, but I fight it. I never give in. I'm not human anymore, not really, but I have to protect those who still are. That way I can tell myself I'm different to the other monsters. Sometimes I could even believe it. Okay, so basically you're playing a monster. Like you talked about, you still going with the zombie idea? Is that what you're looking to do?
Let's see here. Could be an orc. Yeah, I think zombie is the funniest one for what we've got going on with the family. Otherwise ghost, but that's kind of a little too obvious, you know?
Okay.
I think zombie. The other one that would be okay would be vampire, because then like I would still somewhat look human.
Okay.
But so it's like, do I want to be angel or do I want to do my own thing? So.
Does anyone have interest in in monstrous? Anybody else? Yeah, Adam's doing monstrous. So if that didn't come through because of our delay, you're doing monstrous. Do everything up. Stop when you get to the introduction section.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Anybody else have a strong idea?
I have
Melissa?
What are we
two,
thinking?
but
Hey,
I want
Brandon.
to see what other people do. So anyone
Okay.
else want to?
Melissa or Jeremy?
Jeremy, go ahead.
At this point, I think because I was like filling like different roles in the group, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
We already have a monstrous person. I think the wronged is fun, but like I play that character all the time, like the vengeful, like I'm gonna get you. I think I'm torn between divine
Okay.
or hex.
Okay. Hex is
I
from the
don't know if
team.
Melissa or Bert if either of you want to do a more magical person.
Bert, what were you thinking?
I was thinking either Gumshoe or Spellslinger. So if we've got one hex person, I'm probably going to go Gumshoe.
Okay.
And
Melissa,
I was
where
thinking
were you
more
at?
playing him like a reporter, like a Kolchak instead of
Okay.
a Columbo.
Okay. So Melissa, what were you thinking then? Didn't you mention Hex at one point? Or am I?
Yeah, I had 4 different ones. So Snoop, I would probably not do because Snoop and Gumshoe are kind of similar.
Okay.
And Snoop was really the last of my 4.
Okay.
Hex was one, but I'm not opposed to not doing it.
Okay.
I was actually considering doing wronged because I don't tend to do that one. So I was thinking about going in the direction of wronged. The other one was spectacular, but I think spectacular overlaps a little bit with monstrous. So I think process of elimination, I might be at wronged.
Okay. So do we want to say if this is okay? We want to say Melissa wronged, Jeremy Hex, Bert Gumshoe. Does that work out? Okay.
Cool.
Good with that.
Everyone happy?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So yeah,
Nice.
so you 3 go ahead. So just for folks out there, the wronged, they took my loved ones back when I wasn't strong enough to fight, but I studied, trained, and now I'm ready to cleanse the world of their taint. I'll kill them all. That's all I have left. So that's the wronged. That's going to be Melissa. So get started on your work there. Go through all the way up to introductions. Then from the Tome of Mysteries, Hex is what Jeremy is going to be, and Gumshoe is what Bert's going to be.
Could be a man witch.
Nice.
Jeremy's going to be A sloppy Joe. I didn't have magic fall into my lap. I'm not blessed. I'm not one of the scary children. I'm just a girl who found a way to give herself the strength to fight this war. I don't have the option of not taking this risk. That's Jeremy. And then the gumshoe for
crappy goth little.
Then gumshoe for Bert. You want to understand this. When I take a case, I'm supposed to do something about it. You're supposed to do something about it, whether you like it or not. You've got to pay for what you've done, sweetheart. Whatever it is I might feel about you. Yes, I'll have some bad nights, but I'll still have myself. So let's see. We've got Mundane Chuck, Monstrous Adam. We've got Hex Jeremy. We've got Wronged Melissa. And then we've got Gumshoe Bert. Okay. So all of you need to go through, pick your look, pick your ratings, then the Hunter playbook will tell you what to pick. So like Gumshoe Code, for instance, but you also get moves and gear. But when you get all the way, you can just go straight down the list and do whatever it tells you. But eventually you're going to hit a section that says introductions, and that's where you want to stop because that's something we do together.
So
right,
I will open up a little bit of assistance to chat because there are some things that are not multiple choice and it's open-ended. So who do people think I should have lost? So who did you lose? And what kind of monster killed them? So
Okay. All right.
Open it up to feedback for that one.
Answers in the chat. Okay. While those come in, Chuck, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm down on gear.
Okay.
So I've got my look, adult with a friendly face, wearing casual, that casual Friday work clothing with a very nice mustache.
Okay.
The moves that I've picked out are trust me. Where's it at? So when I tell a normal person the truth in order to protect them from danger, I get a little boost there. I've got the power of the heart. I can help people, and I don't roll. I automatically help as though I rolled a 10.
Oh, very nice.
And then, what could go wrong? Whenever I charge into immediate danger without hedging my bets, I hold 2 and may
Very
spend my
nice.
hold for appropriate bonuses.
That
and
really
that's-
dovetails
yeah.
nicely with the do something stupid and dangerous that your team playbook suggests.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all I've got to pick out now. So my mundane stuff, my gear. I'm taking a baseball bat because I just think Phil would have a baseball bat at home.
Is your name Phil?
And I'm also
Is that your
I'm
name?
going with Phil. Yeah.
Okay.
His name is hang on a second. I got to get to the thing because I have terrible memory.
Okay.
His name is Phil Theodore.
Phil Theodore. Okay. He's a double
Phil
first name
Theodore.
guy.
Double
Okay.
first name kind of guy.
All right.
But I'm also going to take a multi-tool. So yeah,
Okay.
baseball bat
Nice.
and a multi-tool.
Means of transport.
That's what I was looking at. I feel like Phil Theodore would have a bicycle or a maybe a minivan. But
Nice.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm going to go with minivan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mode of transport, go in a minivan. Borrowed it from the ex-wife. I'm not giving it back.
All right.
Oh.
Fair. Oh man, what's her name? Is it Karen? Oh, what the hell's her name? Her
Oh,
from Alien. God dang it.
yeah.
What was your
Chat
name?
would need to help out. It's
Oh, man.
Karen something
Karen.
or other.
Oh my gosh.
What was your
How
name?
am I blanking on this? Oh,
I don't
I don't know.
remember.
Chat,
so
help
many
us out.
names.
What?
Okay.
Oh, goodness. I'm going to feel silly when someone throws it up there.
Yeah. I mean, he's dead now, so
Yeah.
who really cares?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
Dean
gone.
Hackett.
It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry.
She's not, though. She's out there somewhere.
Oh no. If we ever go back
Oh,
to
no, that's
Alien,
right.
she's the
Oh,
secret big
that's right.
bad.
I'm telling
That's
you.
right, that's right.
Free League. Let's go, man. Get that building better worlds out there so I can run some freaking Alien.
Yeah.
Waiting. Okay. Okay. So Chuck, you're all done. We'll wait for a second on introductions so everyone else can catch up. Adam, how you looking? I know there's a lot more to do with Monstrous, but still.
Yeah. And I'm not sure how to enter it all in my sheet, but
Right.
I'm just trying to make notes.
Okay.
I'm on natural attacks right now.
Okay. No worries.
So,
Take your time. We're not in a rush. So in case you're unfamiliar with Monster of the Week, so there's different stats. There's charm, cool, sharp, tough, and weird. The way the game works is that each of these playbooks gives them 5 different options. Like they can pick one of these arrays and it kind of focuses on however they want. So for instance, like I got the monstrous one up. If you're looking for a monster that has like maybe higher charm, so maybe like a vampire type, maybe you go the one that's like charm +2, cool equals 0, etc., etc. But if you want something a little tougher, maybe you want a werewolf, whatever, maybe you take the one that has higher toughness. So like there's some options in how you want to kind of go about playing it. Vampire breeds, there's a bunch of different suggestions I see, Adam, because there's vampire, werewolf, ghost, fairy, demon, orc, zombie. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing at orc. But I'm looking at
weird.
Yeah, I'm looking at zombie right now. And just kind of I don't know, I'm putting stuff in playbook moves.
Yeah. So the
And
playbook
making
should
new
be all
ones.
the way in that compendium section, compendium packs, if any of you guys are looking for them in Foundry.
Oh.
You can just drag them on.
You can drag and drop them onto your sheet. The ones that you pick from your playbook. Phil Theodore.
Phil Theodore.
Okay.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Phil. It's great to be here.
That's great.
Really excited to work with you all.
I'll look up death rules. Okay. Totally unrelated.
Sure it is.
All right. Let's see. Melissa?
Yeah. I
You
am
ready
pretty
to
good.
go?
So recommendation in chat is that the person that I lost was a grandmother who was in the old lady crew.
I like it. I like it.
So
You're our
I have not yet
connection.
figured out what did it. So I still need to figure out which.
I mean, we could
Pray.
say it's your enemy, Dr. Crepuscular, or whatever his name was.
Crepuscle.
That's still one hell of a name.
It's
Yeah.
pretty rough.
Dr. C.
Dr.
Okay.
C. Yeah.
Dr. C. He's
So for rating, I still haven't figured out look because that always takes me a little bit. But for ratings, so basically I'm tough. Like tough is my primary stat.
Okay.
So I went with the tough +2, cool +1, charm 0, sharp -1, weird +1.
Okay. And weird, I think, is usually for like the ones that are sort of like spellcaster related, like that. That's usually, or something that's related to that is often where weird pops up in the moves. I think.
Yeah,
if I
and
recall
there's some pretty cool stuff that came up in the new. I think it was either Codex or Tomes that has some new. I think it's Codex that has some new weird actions, which are pretty cool. So who did I lose? Grandmother.
Mhm.
Why couldn't I save them? I kind of wanted to say like in denial, but almost more sort of naive of just not being aware of all of the things at that point. So that's kind of what I was going with, like sort of weak, naive, unaware. So moves, I know my prey, so I always get a +1 when knowingly investigating, pursuing, or fighting that particular monster that killed Grandma. Then I get to pick 2 more. I picked DIY surgery because I don't know that anybody else is going to have kind of anything in that particular direction. I can change it out if somebody's really good at that. And then I went with tools matter. So with my signature weapon, I get a +1 to kick some ass, which is one of the moves. For signature weapon, I went with specialist weapons. So basically, I have the array. So I've got wooden stakes for vampires, silver daggers for werewolves. So like I've got the kind of specialist array. So I'm thinking I might possibly also have, it's either going to be a pickup truck or a van. I might go the direction of like a pickup truck. And then practical weapons, I've got a big knife and a 9mm.
Okay. Very nice. That sounds awesome. Okay. Did I hear you? Did you have an actual name for the grandmother?
No.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. Were there extras maybe from before?
Yes. We
Okay, so
definitely have
you
options.
just take one of those. We'll take whichever one I don't necessarily use for the actual ally crew. And Melissa, do you have a name for yourself?
No.
I know you didn't, but I still wanted to ask the question. I know you'll have one in 2 weeks. I got it. Okay.
I will.
All right. Okay. Very nice. Anybody else far enough along where I can start asking questions so I don't have to vamp by reading the phone book?
Pretty close.
Okay.
I don't have a name either if it makes you feel better.
Probably have
Or
to
add a
figure
name?
that stuff out later.
Jeremy, you got a name?
No, I don't. I was helping
Okay.
Melissa feel better.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No worries. And honestly, guys, any changes, if you want to make it changes later before we start our first session, if you're like, now that I think about it, maybe I'm going to do this move instead, or I'm going to, that's fine. Like any it's, change whatever you got to do. But why don't we go through Hex and see what you got? So walk us through, introduce us to your Hex, which you've chosen so far.
Right. So weird is obviously the main thing. I've got Terrible Charm. I'm actually kind of a jerk. Because I'm the very scrawny goth person. So I've got Bad Charm. I'm okay on Cool and Tough, mostly weird. My favorite thing that they come with is some of their descriptions or the way that they cast magic. So one item I get is a Bad Luck Charm, which is largely that, like, if something bad happens when I'm using magic, it doesn't happen to me. It happens to somebody else around me.
That's awesome.
So I've got some little like thing on me that helps like let that shit happen to somebody else.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
I'm a selfish little prick.
Okay.
And also I took Burn It With Fire, which just lets me do a ton of fire damage.
Brilliant.
I either do like a fireball or I focus it all on one person and it ignores their armor, and I just burn the crap out of things.
Okay.
And then to add to that, so not only will I be your fireball person, but one of my favorite things to do is to be the team healer and make you hate the way that I heal you. Because I create this little bundle of flame yarn that would just go into your flesh and burn everything together. And if I don't roll well enough, it'll still heal you, but leave you with terrible scars.
This might sting. Is that what you picked?
Yeah, this might sting. I took this might sting. I'm going to magically burn your wounds away.
I don't know.
Does this mean I
Oh,
can
man.
drop DIY surgery?
Sounds like
and
it.
Go
Yeah.
for something more.
Yeah.
That works. That works.
Yeah, that lets you be a little more free to kind of do more ass kicking stuff, and I can be the healer.
Very
Cool.
You know, I think I'm better with that than I was with Dr. Cuspid's dentures.
Bluetooth. Oh my god.
I love that. I honestly for a second tried to find a way to do that version of Cuspid.
Nice.
Sorry, I just had a thought.
Yeah.
So
Oh no.
what about the Temptation? Did you pick that?
I'm really torn between glory or vengeance because I like being petty. Just I know myself, and I know I like being a petty, vengeful person. And I feel like the person that would make the deal to get power and make sure that they suffer no consequences is probably pretty petty. But glory could be fun.
Okay.
But probably vengeful.
I do like how glory is characterized as use magic to steal someone's thunder.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's sort of glory, but it's also kind of undercutting a person, which is great.
Like if it was more about just making myself look good, I would probably do that. But if it's more about taking from somebody else, that's not as fun as being vengeful.
Okay.
I'm on the fence between those two.
Fair enough. And gear wise, did you figure out like what you're kind of carrying with yourself?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do is it a Thane or a Tame?
Oh, okay, the two harm hand magic silver.
Yeah, it's got like one of those goofy little occult dagger looking things.
Gotcha.
And then just a shotgun.
Okay, I love it. Yeah, shotgun's always useful. Always useful.
Yeah.
All right. And then, did you have a look? Like I know you don't have to necessarily pick from the list, but did you have a look?
So from the stuff on the list, he's a relatively young man, but long black hair, very pale skin. Obviously, like maybe even has like the slightly like Cure look to him for his goth clothes and the hair that's kind of drooping in a certain way. Tall, lanky.
The Cure. Okay. Tall and lanky. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. Fantastic. Yeah. Suddenly it's got this is starting to crystallize for me. It's gonna be the Cure, the Smiths. It's gonna be very Brit emo rock, as I think we're headed in that direction.
I think Evil's hungry
Duran
tonight because
Duran.
somebody ordered a manwich.
Okay. All right. So that's what about Adam or Bert? How are you guys? Are you ready to introduce us?
Almost there. Almost. I've finally figured a few things out.
Okay. All right. Bert, how you doing?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
All right. Why don't you just walk us through it? Like, what do you got for your look?
All right. So my look is he's a man with a streetwise face, and he wears vintage clothing. His name is Anton Bankowski.
Ooh. Okay.
I went with cool +1, charm +2, sharp +1, tough 0, and weird -1.
Okay. Pretty even across the board.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. My code, which is the important thing for the gumshoe, is that evil must be exposed.
Got it. Fantastic. I like it.
And he's kind of he likes to report on things. One of the things that you get is a computer, and given the time, it's an old Commodore SX luggable. It's going to be so that's his typewriter and his gateway to the wonderful world of BBSs.
Okay.
He's also got a micro cassette recorder and a film camera, and he carries a .38 revolver.
Very nice. Very nice. You said try it. Did you mention moves yet? I'm sorry.
No, the moves, the two that I get are Occult Confidential.
Yep.
The first time in each mystery that you observe a monster, minion, or phenomenon in action, you may ask one question from the investigate a mystery list. The Naked City, you have a lot of personal contacts wherever you go. Pick 4 contact types from the below areas or from other areas agreed to between you and the keeper. You can hit them up for information. And I guess that would, since we're moving, it would be a city to city sort of thing.
Could be. It could be. Yeah, I think we can make it so that some of them are mobile people as well, and so there we can sort of justify them popping up here and there.
Yeah.
Or
and
we can sort of
that
define our area, so it's not just like the full country. It could be like the state.
So it may be
like
people that are connected with organizations, like a newspaper that exists in multiple cities, something like that.
Yeah, it's
and the one I got to pick, the Jessica Jones entry. When I double talk your way into a secure location, roll plus charm. And it gives me various bonuses when I charm my way into a secure location.
Very nice. I like it. Okay. So then we went through your gear. Okay.
And when I say he wears vintage clothes, he's like a decade. He wears nice clothes, but they're like a decade out of date.
So it's like the 70s. You're a 70s guy?
Yes. He's got a slouch hat. And he's got a tweed
like a polyester suit
and polyester pants.
I love it. That's fantastic. I would wear that to work if I could. Okay. All right. Fantastic. So we got Bert. Adam, you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
man.
I am.
Let's hear it. Let's introduce it. Do you have a name for your character?
Not yet, because I didn't know how close a family we were. So I didn't know if we had a family name or not. I know that I'm
ready.
Yes, I was about ready to say. I was about to ask Jeremy if it needed to start with a C.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll be Redding
right.
brothers.
What's your name? Jeremy? Do you know?
I've got to look up a good C name for like a cultist person.
Okay. All right.
Caleb.
So
Caleb's good.
Caleb is good. That's my brother's name. So I'm just gonna go with it. I'll answer to it. So all right. Caleb Redding. And so the let's see. I'm going back through here. I chose a breed of what kind of monster I was. I did choose a zombie. Okay. What that gives me is a curse of pure drive hunger. And so this one's going to be a little bit interesting. That one emotion rules me. and it's hunger. So whenever I have a chance to indulge that emotion, I must do so immediately or act under pressure to resist. So if there's something that I want to eat that's there, then I need to test in order to be able to resist it. And I think that
don't you worry about it. I make a mean cheese omelet. I'll take care of you. It's fine.
All right.
Like a little bit of mushrooms in there, we can get all French with it.
It does have to be flesh or brains, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
oh no.
Yeah, sorry about
yeah. He'll still probably eat it, but it won't do anything for him.
Sure.
Like maybe it'll even make me sick or something.
Just get some dry meat and make some like bacon bits and just shave some of the bacon bits of a gardener that you guys killed in the previous town.
Yes. Yes. Like we've got a dehydrator somewhere with us, and we just like
I've got a dehydrator. Like everyone loves fruit jerky.
So let's see here. I am immortal. I do not age or sicken, and whenever I suffer harm, I suffer one harm less.
Okay.
Nice. I also have unquenchable vitality. When you've taken harm, you can heal yourself, but in order to do it, I need to roll cool. And I need to get a 10+ in order to heal 2 harm, 7 to 9 heal 1. On all else, my injuries worsen. So that's definitely a risk. But I
appreciate the risk. Very nice.
Yeah, I do too. Otherwise, I wouldn't really think it's very fun if it was just like no risk. So, that's basically like the whole thing behind being a zombie.
Right. Do you have a look or anything for yourself? Like what do we see when we see you?
So at the beginning of the campaign, I'm going to look almost human, and I fully intend to have it degrade over time. Like maybe this just happened like a couple days ago, and so
I was just going to ask, like, is it maybe a very okay?
Yeah, it's extremely recent.
Yeah, like the hex starts with a rote. And we joked in chat, like, what if I tried to bring him back?
Yeah.
Like, that was one of my early attempts at big magic.
Ooh.
I tried to bring my brother back, and it didn't. It worked.
Sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the 2020, so we know I didn't need a Tide Pod, but, I could have done something similar, like drank bleach, something. It was a dare.
I love that idea. That's such a good idea. You try to bring your brother back. Okay. Yeah.
It was a dare that killed me. Yeah.
Oh God.
Told you I could eat a whole stick of butter. So let's see. So that's the rest of the look. I've got an unnerving aura, so I'm gonna have to like figure out a way that I'm creepy, or at least unnerving to people. And my clothing is a mix between punk /mod/goth clothing, and I look confused on my style, definitely.
Okay.
Like I didn't, I just saw like rock stars and I wanted to emulate them, but I didn't really associate genres or anything. It wasn't hip enough for that. So just kind of threw it all together.
Zombie aura. I mean, you should smell like nasty dank flesh, like, or something.
Oh, I will.
Like that.
I will. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Right now it's it's gonna be a slow burn.
An old Astrovan's gonna need so many air fresheners.
All right. So we get your moves. Okay. All right. Have I not gone? I think I've gone through everybody's. We've kind of gone through look and basic moves and stuff. I think that's everybody, right? Okay. So if that's the case, awesome. Let's go on and start working on the your history. So scroll down your playbook to the introduction section. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to go around and you're going to establish a connection between yourself and one other person. And so you kind of just keep going around until you have like 2 details between every other character, right? Except one that you initiate and one that they initiate from their playbook. So like Chuck will get one for Bert from his playbook, and then Bert will get one from his playbook to kind of connect to Chuck, and everyone will do that around and around you go. So So we kind of go around until that all happens. You have each playbook has like a big list of things you can choose from. Obviously, if you really like something that's off the book, that's not listed, go for it and we'll make it work. So why don't we just start with Chuck and we'll just kind of go around on the overlay. Chuck, if you want to pick somebody and make a connection.
Yeah, this is an easy one. I'm going with Melissa. We are close relations. I'm going to say I'm Melissa's older brother.
Okay.
I really, really respect how Melissa's character, like she's just got this drive to her, like she's really working through some stuff and she's carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. And I got a lot of respect for that. So that's where we're at. Like little sis, solid. I believe in her.
All right. Close relations.
Always there to back her up.
Bro. All right. I know we mentioned family. We know Jeremy and Adam are going to be, one of them is going to pick that same sort of idea, I think, for the other. So you're going to be siblings. Is everybody related to one another, or are these like?
I think Bert is the
uncle,
the one we're looking
I'm
at.
extended family. Somebody married into the Benkowskis.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like the idea of like uncle, but not necessarily by blood. Just we call him uncle.
Yeah.
You know.
If knowing that there's family connections for my second one, if Bert didn't have family, I was going to go with good friends on Bert. But also if Bert's related in some way, I could still do that. But yeah.
maybe Bert has.
Go ahead.
Maybe Bert has two really older siblings, who those two older siblings had two sets of kids. So Bert is technically our uncle, but he's our age.
Twice removed on your mother's side.
We're gonna need a 23andMe for this.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna need. All right, so Chuck, let's keep going because you do one for each of the hunters. So you've got one for Melissa. Okay. So why don't we do one for somebody else? So you got your list. What else?
Yeah.
What else? You think?
So we'll do that. Yeah. Melissa, close relations. Bert, I'm gonna go with good friends.
Okay.
Bert and I maybe are the two older members of this group. Maybe during college or something like that, we were roommates or were on the marching band together or something like that. And we just became good friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's from college, you said, right? So you guys went to college together, or college, at least the college years, something like that. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
something like that.
Can I fit my question in to Chuck to merge with that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because you got to go one back towards Chuck. So
crime.
What's
But
that?
I let you go. I caught you committing a crime, but I let you go.
Okay. Your close
that's
friends.
rough.
What was the crime?
Okay.
You're going to have to answer this, Bert, because Phil, if he did a crime, he didn't realize it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, I think it's a crime that, like, on the books, it's a crime, but you did the right thing.
Okay.
Like you did the right thing. And so why I let you go is because my code is I've got to expose evils. Like, nah, that's legit.
What is something Phil would have done that is a crime, but is something that isn't so terrible that they would be kind of brought in for or riddled by guilt about? What do you think?
I can come up with an answer on this unless Bert wants to. My answer would be like one day off campus, I was walking, night of drinking, watching soccer with the boys. And there was this old man sat on the corner begging. He had this raggedy looking dog with him. And so I gave him all the money I had left in my pocket, but I'm like, this poor dog needs help. But I just gave him all my money. So I went to the closest grocery store and I probably shoplifted. Big oops. Somehow I managed to steal some dog foods, some treats, maybe a little shampoo, like just a dog.
Sorry, I'm just imagining
supply
the
kit.
big old bag of dog food. It's like somehow.
Under his shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the thing you throw
ridiculous.
underneath the shopping cart. So like you're
Yeah.
pushing the shopping cart and you have like the
Underneath the
little
shirt.
thing, but
Just
it's
sweating.
I think he puts it under his shirt. He tries to act like he just gained like 400 pounds.
I look
He's
like a bratwurst
He's
about to burst out of its case.
Oh, bring it back around, Sean.
Bringing it around again.
Keeps
You know what? I
coming.
was working as a store detective at the time. It was actually an upscale
loss
store you walked
preventions?
into. So I follow you out, suspecting you've got stolen goods. I see what you do with it, and I just turn around and I just go pay for the dog
Okay.
food. Then I come out to introduce myself, and we find out, oh, hey, yeah, you're my
We're in lit together, right?
Oh, look at Chuck dropping lit. He understands. He knows what to do.
I get you, Jeff. I get
Yeah.
you.
Let's say a math
Okay.
class. Okay. We were in that
No.
business course together, right?
No. This was a creative writing course. Remember we were reading it about that boat? How does it stop being that boat?
Okay. Look at him. Look at Chuck.
Listen,
Brown isn't
I know
Okay.
how to make Jeff happy. And when it's not putting my feet on screen, it's making fucking literature references.
I mean, those two things can be done at the same time, I think.
They can.
Sounds like a stream.
I'm not going to
We just
do
see
it. I'm not flexible enough right now.
We see Chuck's feet, and we just hear Jane Austen being. That's like his feet is reading Jane Austen to us.
Uh-huh.
Man is in want for a wife. Okay, Chuck, you've got one for Bert. You've got one for Melissa. How about Jeremy and Adam?
Oh, I got to go everyone too.
Yeah, you got to do everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you establish one for every character, and and
Mhm.
everybody does that. So by the end of all of this, you'll have two details about each person. So like for you, you said
Okay.
you're friends with Bert, and Bert he kind of built off that and said that he stopped you for a crime at some point.
We'll swing down to Adam.
Okay.
I'm a bit suspicious of Adam.
What? Why?
Not for the reasons you think.
Oh,
That kid, he smells.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that it's because he's been taking the marijuanas.
Oh.
I don't know if it's true, but that's how my oblivious mind is attaching the scent of your undeath.
Zombie marijuana use. Zombie. Okay, I like it.
He's so uncoordinated. He's always talking
Okay.
about how he's hungry. He's staggering around. He smells funny.
He's got a drug problem.
He's got a drug. He's on the devil's lettuce.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Um,
All right, and then
So-
you got one for Jeremy.
Jeremy. Yeah. So I'm looking
Mhm.
at Jeremy's. Initially rivals, could be romantically involved. I didn't go with pararomantic, so I'm going to probably pass on that one. They're your hero. I'm kind of the older one. Why don't we go with like save their mice? I'm sorry, words mixed. Save their life from a monster due to an unlikely chain of events, and
Okay.
tell them what. So Jeremy, I don't remember. You are like the monster. What you're?
I'm a
hexed.
hex. Yeah, basically like
Yeah.
a warlock, sort of like very
I
petty
would-
magician.
Imagine just one day, I was wandering around, smelled some barbecue. I'm like, oh, brisket. And as I go to investigate, maybe you're fighting some monster and you're just incinerating them with your fire. They just
Too
aren't
many.
going down. I mistake the burning flesh, and just somehow through a series of dumb accidents, I end up like accidentally saying like, oh, this person's obviously on fire. Let me grab a fire extinguisher, and I put them out. And that was whatever you like was required to finish the job.
Or you throw a blanket over somebody that you think is on fire, and I immediately stab them 15 times in the back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm like picturing that, like, because I don't know why I'm picturing like your lanky little teen, like you're just like rapid fire stabbing someone with a blanket. I like it.
Yeah. So probably ever since then, I like to talk to you about barbecue. Not
Okay.
appropriate, not related, but
And
just it's the mental link I've got. For
I
you.
love that because I actually had one I already picked for you. And I want to say that I was shocked to know your face when you showed up because I am a very selfish little prick. So I tried to use divinations to see what path would lead me to my own prosperity and make things good for me. And I tried multiple times to do this divination spell. And for the fucking life of me, it kept showing me that I kept seeing your face, and that somehow you were the thing that was going to help me be prosperous, and you were important for my well-being.
I love it.
I haven't told you
So
this because it
Okay.
annoys the living piss out of me that for whatever reason, like, you are the road to things going well for me.
Mr. Mundane. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here I am thinking I'm a badass trying to fight a bunch of monsters. It goes poorly, and then your dumbass saves me. And it's like, oh shit, it's you.
Okay. Okay. So Chuck, you are done. Let's see. Bert, we want to go to you. You've got your one done for Chuck. So you basically let Chuck go after committing a crime, but we need one for Jeremy, Melissa, and Adam. Do you have any thoughts yet?
Sure. Adam or Caleb, is that your character's name?
Yep.
Okay, we are either on the same or rival bowling teams. What bowling related disagreement did we have?
Let's say that we were on the an opposing team, and this disagreement is super recent because you saw me throw a ball down and it landed in the gutter and bounced back out, and you're like, he's cheating somehow or another, and it was an accident for me. See, one of my fingers came off inside the hole, and I tried my best to hide it. And when the ball came back through, I didn't reattach it. And I think you're the only one that noticed. I think because you're the gumshoe, you're like, wait a minute. No, something's really wrong with Caleb. Something ain't right about that boy.
All right. So Jeremy, Corbin, let's see. I approached you for help on a case. Describe the case and what was your key expertise you provided to solve the mystery?
I mean, we've already said I try and do divinations, but I don't really believe in them. Clearly my divinations are flawed. But yeah, no, I'm willing to like help look for a clue, but half them, I don't think Corbin fully understands his magic. He's all like raw oomph, and it's not very well refined. So you ask him to help you with something, and he'll like, do the whole. I think it has to be some body of water. He'll do a spell to like do a divination in, and you'll briefly see an image, and he just would like with a kind of. I
brought you
a red
water
sneaker
from the lungs of a drowned victim that we had nothing on. And as you divine from that water in the drowned person's lungs what went on.
Okay.
How's that?
There's Red Shoes. Are you watching Red Shoes Diaries? You pervy old man. What the hell is this? I don't know.
David Duchovny?
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, it was David Duchovny's stunt double was the murderer.
All right.
Theodore?
I think you already got Chuck, because Chuck was you let him
Oh
go.
no,
Melissa.
Donna. Okay, there it is.
Right,
So
Melissa, do you have a name?
Theodore is our last name.
Oh,
So-
okay.
So so Donna Theodore.
Okay.
So Donna, do you live by a code, and what is it?
I live by a code. Oh goodness. So I'm sort of imagining that like Donna had this life before Grandma died. Like she did something that was very not at all related to this. And now that like Grandma died, and now that she like knows this stuff, she's like full on, they all must die, essentially. So I don't know if that counts as a code, but like monsters are bad, monsters are evil, monsters all have to die.
Okay, I approve of the cold and the perspective.
Yes, Derby, I see your face. We're gonna need to refine that, perhaps, given recent events.
And see, so that's it. I got everyone right.
I think you're good. Yeah.
Berth, what's your character name?
Anton is actually Antoni, but he drops the I here.
Okay.
In America.
we have the Theodore family and the Redding family. Was the Theodore family and the Redding family are you guys like cousins, like first cousins?
Yeah.
Maybe
First cousins, yeah. Like
I think that's fair.
okay. First cousins.
so-
and then we have Uncle Anton. Okay.
Yeah.
so
Who's maybe 5 years older.
Bankowski.
is there a grandpa Theodore or a grandpa Riddick that we have in common?
I don't think that's. I mean, I would go with
Not
Grandpa
the grandma
Theodore.
that died.
Right.
So
okay.
is
So-
the grandma that died Grandma Theodore?
Well,
Our
was
mother
it your
wa-
actual grandmother, or was it just one of the grandmother team that died?
It was our actual grandmother
Okay.
was part of the
Yeah.
grandmother team.
So let's say
So-
that's a shared. Let's say it's a shared grandmother. It probably makes
Yeah.
sense.
Our mother is your aunt. Then she married a Redding.
So it's Grandma Theodore.
Okay.
So then Grandma Theodore's kid
It would
married
be-
a Redding, and then you guys are Redding.
Great Aunt Theodore for Jeremy and Adam.
Okay.
No, it'd be
Right.
Grandma Theodore
Whatever.
if it's your grandma.
Okay. All
There's a
right.
YouTube
I need your
video
I
about
need the
this.
family tree here, okay?
So
Yeah, we need a
let's-
family tree, Jeff.
I know.
We don't.
Okay, I will work on it for next
Corbin
time.
is saying we don't need a family tree. We can just be related, and we don't have to figure out the
Okay.
details. It's more
Uh-huh.
important shit to do, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just going off the fact that before the stream, Jeff
Shut
was
the fuck
talking
up,
about
Phil.
like, why am I starting 2 campaigns at
I know.
once?
Yeah. No,
I'm like, let's just pile it on him.
3.
3? Oh God, Jeff. Why?
Monster of the Week, Werewolf, and Fragged all within the span of 7 days.
Yay.
What the hell's wrong with me? And then
Why?
I got the pirate one shot tomorrow night too. What am I doing?
Yay.
Okay. Speaking of yay, Jeremy, let's go ahead and let's do your connections. So you get one for
Okay.
everybody. What you
So
got?
Adam, Caleb's is super easy because the very first one that pops up is you once cast a powerful spell or curse on them. Tell them
Perfect.
why and ask them how it ended. Yeah, you did some stupid shit and got yourself killed. I tried to bring you back to life, and it kind of worked. You are back.
Okay. Perfect.
You know.
That causes zombieism, basically. Awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So Chuck, my divination told me he was important.
one.
And I
Mhm.
need to be with him for my own well-being.
I like how Chuck is like, he's the one. That's not what, now Chuck's just changed. No, it says I was the one. It says I was the chosen one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am the bright and warm center that this
Yeah.
party revolves around.
Yeah, absolutely. So then you got Bert, Melissa. What do you got for them?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what's a fun one.
You're part of the same cult, sect, or secret society.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Like, we're family. I'm not going to do the madly in love thing. Who? Okay,
Yeah, that'd be
Bert-
awkward.
Anton encourages me to indulge my temptation. Why? Do you? Okay, and actually, I'll bend it. Would you rather me be somebody who's kind of doing things for my own glory, or I'm more vengeful? I like vengeful. I like
Yeah.
being petty. And why does Anton encourage me to be vengeful and petty?
Because typically it's directed at the thing that needs killing.
Okay. It's practical. And then Donna, you kind of mentioned the whole like it's all got to die or whatever. One of them is they fear your power or what you might do with it. Why is that, Donna?
Why do I fear your power?
Yeah, why don't you like the way that I do magic? Maybe not necessarily like me, but just like or the consequences of me doing magic the way that I do.
So would it be safe to say that Donna knows that Caleb died?
Yeah, we could say that maybe.
Right. I mean,
I'm
because the
not
idea is that we don't
so
talk about
on
it.
board
So, yeah.
with that. Like you literally brought him back from the dead. Like there's things you can do that are cool with magic, and there's that. And for her, that crosses like a line. Would that
Okay.
work?
Yeah. And I'm not bothered by the fact that I did it.
Of course not. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
you don't like it, but I don't feel bad. Hell, I have like a magic artifact on me that makes sure I don't suffer consequences for what I do. I'm such a dick.
Okay, so I think you're done, right? Because
I'm done.
Divination. Okay, so Jeremy's done, Chuck is done, Bert is done. Melissa, your turn.
Okay. So obviously, Phil and I are brother and sister. And then we've kind of already covered that. So Caleb also lost a friend or relative to the monsters, which was grandma, which we've covered. Bert, I'm actually going to give you a choice because I think either of these can work for you, given that you're Gumshoe, and you can tell me which one you think would be more fun. So either you helped me at a critical point in my quest for revenge, or you intentionally stood between me and what I needed to find out. So did you help me when I really needed you, or you told me that you couldn't find information that you absolutely could? You're muted.
There's
you're muted.
also should point out that second one about standing in the way does say ask them why. So there even could be a good reason why you stood in the way too. So
Yeah.
Muted.
You're
Still
muted.
there, Bert.
I'm tempted to say I helped you, but I like the second one better. I actually kept you from doing a vengeful thing because I knew you were wrong. Like you had the wrong target. It was misplaced, so I lied to you.
Okay. That
Wrong
works because
bingo
clearly I
announcer.
have gone full kill 'em all. So,
Okay.
and so the other one that I think would be fun for Corbin. So they saw you absolutely lose it and go berserk.
Mm.
So how much collateral damage did I cause? So clearly this was a situation when I knew someone needed killing and killed them. And what was the collateral damage?
I think you used some like pipe bombs and a couple Molotov cocktails, and you ended up causing like a part of a block to burn down. Like you were trying to take somebody out in one house, it went badly. You just burned the whole house that they were in, and then that fire spread. You get your person because you burned them alive in their house, but then the fire spread.
That works. And I have come up with some kind of like, yeah, but they knew exactly what they were anyway. So like
Oh, totally.
outwardly, I'm telling you that, well, guilt by association. So whatever. It's
Yeah,
all
whatever. I mean, clearly they were
fine.
they looked terrible. They like looked at us. Did you see the way they looked at us when we drove past them? They were assholes. They deserved to die. They looked like pricks. I'm pretty sure they were all in on it together. They probably bought groceries for him when he was a shut-in, like the loser he was that deserved to die.
This is going to be fun.
Okay. So you got Bert, you got Jeremy. What about Chuck and Adam?
right.
So we covered those. Oh, sorry.
Well, did we
so-
cover both ways?
Yes.
Because okay. Well,
Yes.
Could
So
you refresh my memory? I'm sorry.
Phil and I are related because we're brother and sister. And Caleb also lost a friend or relative to the monsters.
Right, but what was yours back towards Chuck? Because I think Chuck picked that you guys were related.
Family.
So what's yours back? He picks one.
That's
for
also
you.
on my list.
I know, but you can pick something different. You don't have to necessarily pick the same thing. Because
I'm-
he's established that with his. You get to establish something else on the way back.
So I don't know. You can tell me, Chuck, if you think this works. It says you saved their life back when they
That's
were a
exactly what I was
pathetic
looking at.
newbie hunter.
Yeah.
I don't think that one fits.
Okay.
Yes, it does. Ask them what you saved them from.
What did I save you from?
No,
What
I
did he
saved
save
you.
you from?
Mhm.
Back when we were newbie at doing this, I saved your life.
Yeah. I mean, I really like the all vampires. It's very funny. There was a vampire, and she was being very friendly towards me, and I misread 100% of the signs. I'm like, excuse me, but that's a little forward. I would be thrilled to take you out to coffee. And just, I was being so dense, it didn't click that something was not right. And you were trying to I'm like, it's okay. It's fine. You don't need to be worried. Like, I know how to handle myself around an aggressive person. It's okay. And no, she tried to bite me all up in the face, and not in a fun way. And you absolutely saved me.
Okay.
Does that work?
That works. And then the other one that we can do then for Caleb, maybe Caleb showed me the ropes when I was learning how to fight. So this is kind of pre-zombification.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay, Melissa, you are done. So Adam, your turn, man.
Okay. So the Donna, I lost control one time and almost killed you. How did you stop me?
Oopsie.
So the first thing that popped in my head, I'll just say it just so that there isn't silence while I'm thinking of the next thing. But what popped in my head was the one that killed Caleb? And then thought, oh, that would be really weird. I should think of something different.
No, that sounds great, right? Because Jeremy brought her back.
So
or did you have something in mind?
I would have had to have lost control before I was monstrous. If that was the case.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's fine. It was just one of those things that I thought oh, I'm killing people.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't that be
Right. And
awkward?
bear in mind, nobody talks about it. And some of us don't even know
That's
that
true.
I'm a zombie. Anton has his suspicions, but maybe he doesn't know it. And but maybe you don't know that I'm a full-on zombie. You just know that I've been brought back from the dead. Who knows?
That works. So can you remind me of the question again? Because
Yeah,
I lost track of the.
I lost control one time recently after I was raised from the dead and almost killed you. How did you stop me?
Oh, how did I stop you? Oh, I have, and I don't know what it is, but I have a mess load of signature weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely came darn near close to unaliving you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what is the.
It's redeading.
Did you go Evil Dead on him and move all the pieces to different areas?
Re-deading.
Red Dead redeading redding.
What I was trying to think of is what is the thing that takes out zombies? I guess I put a gun to your head. Yeah.
And that's when I snapped out of it and was like, what are you doing to me?
If you're okay with the fact that
I'm just going to put on my notes here that I woke up from my fugue state with a gun in my head.
All right there, Heisenberg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Chuck.
What?
Let's see here. You saved me from another hunter who was prepared to kill me. What happened?
Well, I don't want to step on Donna's toes here.
Feel free.
So
I mean, if you do, she'll just set you on fire. So
yeah. So I'll say that maybe it was at the very early stages when we kind of started operating as a group. Maybe whatever this, if we end up going with the Hunter chain franchise, whatever, maybe you were hanging out outside and I went in to get a couple sandwiches. I want a Reuben, and I want a Philly cheesesteak. Don't bother cooking it. And like when I came out with your Philly, like maybe there was a hunter on you, and I diffused the situation. Maybe not the way it should have been. Like there's a couple hunters, like zombie, we got to take them out. And I'm like,
Bro,
hey,
he's just high.
I've got a, he's not a zombie. He is like, you know, those commercials, like where they crack some eggs in like a skillet, like he's more like that. It's fine. I got him
This
a
is the time
sandwich.
for those commercials.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and I charmed them with my mustache, and got them to leave you alone. And I gave you a French dip sandwich that
Nice.
the meat was still frozen, because you gotta make that French dip while the beef is frozen but still raw. I did get you some au jus to dip it in. I don't know if you would take that.
Okay. So we went to get sandwiches. You came out of the store with the sandwiches and convinced them I was a druggie.
Yes.
Okay.
Just like the last fucking tabletop demo we went to. I'm joking, Adam. Don't think about it too hard.
We know Adam's character is a pothead. I mean, like that's canon at this point.
Yep, it is now. All right. So
at least it's my mistaken interpretation.
Oh no. Literally every NPC is going to be thinking that. Yeah. Just let you know.
So,
yeah.
Anton, you tried to slay me, but I proved that I'm on the side of good. What convinced you? And this can all be misunderstandings and mistakes too, if you want, but you can know if you want to, because of that bowling incident.
Because you had the opportunity to feast on an injured victim, but instead you helped that victim.
Oh.
Very nice. Okay. So I think you haven't defined Jeremy, because Jeremy defined the brother.
Yeah.
So you what are you coming back with?
So you are tied to my curse or origin, and we've already established that, but now I'm supposed to tell you how. So you dared me to go into a haunted house and grab a reagent for you. You knew that there were real ghosts in there, but you're the big brother and you were trying to toughen me up.
Then also, I didn't want to suffer any consequences.
Right, that too, but you're trying to toughen me up.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's it. That's it.
And so I went in, I got the reagent. I was so proud that I did it, but I got some sort of ghost cursed or something and died because of it.
Oh, was it like one of those things where like the ghost screams and you just age to death, like suddenly?
Something like that, sure. Yeah, however you want it to be, but like that's how my origin is yes, I died, you wanted to bring me back.
Yeah.
But it was because you dared me to do something. You're responsible for me dying.
When I did the magic, it really annoyed me, but I had to use the If You Could Turn Back Time song while I was casting.
Time.
Yeah. No running up the hill for this one.
I take back all the words that had hurt you. You say. So that's gonna be in my head all night, Melissa. Just be prepared. Be singing. Cher.
Duly noted.
Welcome.
I love Cher, so it's gonna happen. Okay, so I think that's everybody's relationships. I think we've got everyone's playbooks figured out. Why don't we do one last cycle back here to the team playbook and a couple other team questions, and then we'll call it. So we've got Phil and Donna Theodore. We've got Caleb and Corbin Redding. And then we got Anton. What was your last name, Bert? Anton, something like Russian or something?
Yep, sorry. Bankowski.
Bankowski, there we go. Polish. Okay. All right. And so we know that Phil and Donna, Caleb and Corbin, you guys are all first cousins. And we know that Anton is like a family friend that's become so close as basically family. Fantastic. So who's the oldest then? Is it Anton and Phil? Are they the two of them the oldest?
I think so.
Mhm.
We're probably within a year of each other, and
Yeah.
we're probably what 5-10 years older than the rest.
Something I'd go closer to like 5.
And how
Okay.
old are we all generally?
That's what I'm asking. It's like how old are we looking at? Are we looking at you
Like,
guys
Yeah.
20s,
30s?
30s, 40s? What are we thinking?
Maybe me and Phil are in our 30s.
I would be okay with that.
The rest of us are in our 20s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if the rest of you are cool with being in your 20s.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that
because it's
very
enough
much
time
fits.
to have started to do something different and then diverted
Mhm.
Okay.
to this.
Maybe Corbin's 29.
Okay.
Maybe.
So we've got
But yeah, Corbin's still no, he's not. No, your zombie brain is stupid and you don't understand math anymore.
I love it.
okay. All right.
Oh, that's good.
All right. So I got that together. All right. So then going back through the playbook again, just to make sure that we're still happy with what we chose. We picked excitement as our style. Well, the playbook again is always on the road, so you guys are going to be moving around. Do we want to narrow that at all? Do we want to say, are we moving around a specific state or a specific region? Do we want to say like Midwest, West, Southwest, North, whatever, or do we just want to keep it open?
Maybe those cryptic messages send us on a swath at a time. Like
Okay.
one hint might send us up to the Northwest for a little bit.
Like
And we
all
maybe have
down
a-
81, or like it's all down like a major highway from like east to west or west to east or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rolling 75.
All right. So the cryptic messages kind of group everything. Okay, good. So then other things. So our style still, we're good with excitement, meaning that it's a thrill every time and you're taking extremely dangerous risks. Like that's what you guys are after, just taking risks.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So then for your enemies, we're still doing Dr.
Dr. C.
Crepuscule, Dr. C. Okay. Who killed Grandma?
That jerk.
Okay. Is it what did we say it was? Was it Grandma Redding or
Grandma Theodore.
Okay.
Mhm.
Grandma
Killed
Theodore.
their grandma.
Ooh, the reagent was my ambulance. Ooh.
But we still need to pick our asset because we were
Yeah,
waffling on
that's-
whether or not.
We're getting there.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting there. Yeah. I'm just double checking. So team allies, we're still going to do the group of grandmothers, friends of your dearly departed
Mhm.
Grandma Theodore.
Red Hat
Oh,
Society.
okay. All right. So friends of Grandma Theodore. That
So
sounds like
we
a
can just
thing.
get this out now. So is Grandma Theodore, was she Maud, Ruth, Gertrude, Mildred, Agnes?
Maud or Agnes?
What were the other ones? So we got Agnes Theodore,
Maud, Ruth,
Maud Theodore,
Gertrude, Agnes.
Mildred,
Ruth
Agnes,
Theodore, Mildred Theodore.
or Muriel?
Muriel.
Oh, I like Muriel.
Muriel,
Okay.
yeah.
Muriel.
Muriel.
Okay,
Muriel
Grandma.
Theodore?
Muriel
Right.
Theodore.
Then the
Okay.
rest of the names will be the rest
They were
of
actually
the
a group of
grandma
notorious
crew.
bank robbers that never got caught.
Oh, no.
Muriel knew where
But they
everything
only
was
stole from banks that were established by vampires.
hidden. Yes.
True.
Okay. So stole from
Well, aren't they all?
banks. Yeah, right. Established by vamps. Okay. So then
Can't find any argument with that, Bert.
I know, right? Okay, so then team moves. You guys still good with home away from home? So whenever you arrive in a new town, you immediately find a motel and cafe that are friendly and welcoming. We still
Yeah, I
good with
think
that?
we worked that into everything.
We just
I think so.
swing through Denny's.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a chain of some
Alright.
kind. So how many people got vehicles? Because I know both of
Yeah,
the
that's-
Theodore
that's-
siblings got vehicles.
That's the next thing. So we're on assets now. So
I have a pickup truck.
I got a minivan. It's an Astro van. Plenty of room.
I threw it in Discord. I've got like the 80s pickup with like
love
the RV-ish cap thing on the back of
Mhm.
it.
Got that cab. You got a little cot in the back. A little
The
lantern.
wizard van. You got
so probably mobile base doesn't make as much sense.
Oh
then.
no, I don't have a wizard van. I've got an Astro van. It is fuel efficient and responsible.
Yeah, I have no wheels, but I,
know
have a
those
gun.
Astra vans really well. My aunt had one. Oh god, I hated
one.
those things.
So do we need more than 2 vehicles? Do we want to spend one of our asset points in individual transport,
No,
or do
I
we
think
want to
so.
spend the 2 points elsewhere?
We've got
No,
2
let's-
vehicles. There's enough
Okay.
room for all of us.
All right.
Yeah, we're good.
So ignoring assets then for vehicles. So then the other assets then you can choose from. Remember, you get two knocks towards something. So there's credentials, which is real or as good as identification that gets you access to law enforcement and other official contacts. That's a one box. There's
Mhm.
lair, which is a 2 box. So if you wanted to have a secure base that you came back to. Hunter Roadhouses, which is a network of bars,
like that
diners, and
one.
motels.
I think that's kind of cool too.
I
There's
like
your
that one.
Denny's. It's all Denny's everywhere.
Oh God.
Unknown to anyone. They're hunter hangouts.
Okay.
What do we get from the hangout?
Okay, so from the hangout, like from the Hunter Roadhouse, is that what you mean?
Yeah, home away from home.
Oh, home away from home is the team move. So whenever you arrive in a new
Yeah.
town, you immediately find a motel and a cafe that are friendly and welcoming. One or the other will turn out to have a connection to the mystery that brought you here, even if just by having a bystander come by.
That could be our
So
note
we're like-
if we're running with that. That's how we're getting our notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and
so
I
home away
was
from
just
home seems like we don't also need Hunter Roadhouses.
that's
if
what
we
I
do
was
home
getting
away.
at. That's
Overlap.
exactly what I was getting at.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Save a point
Yeah.
for something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so then other options for assets, then there's toolkit. So 1 or 2 of your vehicles carry toolkits. You have
I could
most
see
tools
Donna
you'll
maybe
need.
having that with her truck. And you have a lot of gear. You're a very gear dependent character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toolkit's
We
nice.
can go through the rest, but I think that's
Yeah.
definitely
so that's
an
I'm
option.
sure that maybe. All right. So then mystical ingredients cabinet, which is a box with a wide range of frequently useful supplies for magical rituals.
I mean,
Who's
that's
all
obvious.
spellcaster?
Jeremy is.
Just one. Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
Jeremy?
that's it. Yeah.
Clearly, that's
your
the right choice.
hex.
That's the thing to do.
Your hex. You get your spells from your spell daddy. Like,
I don't have any gear.
Slush fund. You have access to a bank account
I like
that can
that
pay for. Now, you just said Grandma Muriel Theodore was once part of like her grandmother group. That
Yeah.
used to be bank robbers. This could be where the money comes from. Is they just have the money coming down. So
That would
basically,
be fun.
I like slush fund. Jeff, I have to derail for a moment
yeah, man.
because it catches my attention every time. What kind of writing utensil do you have there?
This is an Apple pencil.
Okay. I was like, that looks like an Apple pencil, but
Yeah. It's
Okay,
just
I just had to
easier
know. I'm
for me
sorry.
sometimes. Yeah.
No,
I'm just because I'm writing
absolutely.
on the playbook. You know, I'm writing on the playbook and then I'll transfer it all into Foundry for us later.
I understand. I was just trying to figure it out.
Is there anything else
I
I can
like
do for you,
slush
Chuck?
fund.
Anything else?
No,
Anything
thank
else
you.
need?
Do you want to see my feet?
I mean, I'm not gonna say no. Other options, there's armory. One of your cars is a well-stocked weapons chest. Each mystery, every hunter can take 1 extra regular weapon. Also, once per mystery, 1 hunter may ask the keeper if the armory has a particular special weapon. If yes, you can take it. If no, you take +1 forward. And then there's field medics. So you have enough supplies and training to treat 1 hunter per night as if they had a proper doctor or trip to the emergency room. Jeremy, you took a heal spell, so that's probably not as
Yeah.
essential.
So my initial first reaction was slush fund and field medic.
Okay.
With Jeremy having that heal spell, slush fund, I think armory could be useful.
Okay.
I think that maybe Donna's pickup truck, that cab on the back of it, is
Yeah.
just
Especially
Yeah.
because it gives you the option to like ask for a weapon each session. So it could just be like, hey,
Yeah.
just the excuse to have like some random thing, possibly.
Plus, you guys have kind of established yourselves as excitement and violent and crazy.
Yes.
So I think you guys, it makes sense for your group to probably have a lot of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Is everybody else
slush fund
okay
and
with armory?
Yeah.
I'm good with armory.
Okay.
And money's always a good thing to have.
Money is
Yeah.
always a great thing.
I'm just the guy on the couch.
It is a
so you-
superpower all its
Yeah.
own.
Okay. So slush fund is grandma's stolen
Yeah.
vampire money.
Yes.
Okay.
The blood bucks.
That's
It's
great.
It's,
Blood
it's
bucks.
literally blood
It's-
money. Yeah.
It's the blood
Uh-huh.
bucks.
and she keeps it in a blood bank.
Okay.
Heyo.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
That pun evolved.
Wow. I know it really did. There were layers to that one. Okay.
Like an onion.
Yep.
Or an ogre.
Exactly.
Same thing, Adam. Same thing.
All right. I think that is it because the rest of it's a me thing. So there's some stuff that I do as the keeper, but we've got you so you guys got a slush fund and armory. Those are your assets.
Mm-hmm.
Your move is home away from home. You have allies or the surviving grandmothers, friends of your actual grandmother. Your enemy is Dr. C, who killed your grandmother, and you guys are a very excited, extremely dangerous crew, family members that are always on the road. I think we have finished. I think that is
he may
it.
have actually killed Caleb
Nice.
too. We just haven't realized it or talked about it yet.
Maybe that's the part of it. Maybe we don't know what killed Caleb. Maybe that's a central mystery. You figure out what killed Caleb.
Listen, I just came from Walmart and they had this really great tie-dye t-shirt, and Caleb, I bought it for you.
Oh, it's very nice.
Thanks.
The right reaction.
All right. I think we have hit what we need to do. And yeah. So again, I'll remind everybody that is watching, this is going to be an every other week campaign. We're going back to our Monday schedule of every other week. We have one game one Monday, one game a different Monday. And so our next session then will be 2 weeks from today, where we begin whatever the hell I'm going to call this. I have a couple ideas for titles that I'll figure it out later. Why don't we do some closing plugs, and then we can get the hell on out of here. So Chuck, tell us what's going on with the OK.
That's me. I'm Chuck. On Wednesday. What is today? Today's Monday. On Wednesday, we're running some Dungeon Crawl Classics. We're doing the second edition adventure, The Night Below. Bert and Jeremy are in that. Friday, Joe is making a game called Anvia. We're doing our first playtest campaign, so come check that out. I think that's it. For DOK for the week.
Awesome. Bert, what's going on with Steam, Steel, and Murder?
Well, we have our second session to our Werewolf 20th anniversary game this Tuesday. Friday, we've got some classic Dungeons and Dragons using the basic expert rules. Saturday is Cyberpunk Red. And Sunday, playtest of a new module that's going to hit Kickstarter very soon for Weird Frontiers. It's actually a double module set.
Oh,
so we're going to be playtesting that.
Fantastic. Jeremy, tell us about this Patreon.
Yeah. Aaron Reese on Patreon. Get comics, maps, tokens, fun stuff. Check it out.
Okay. And Adam, what about Grim and Perilous?
Biggest thing we got going on right now is we had a Patreon exclusive campaign that we ran starting in 2018. So it's a very long one. And we're just now releasing it to the public, and it is focusing on the supplement that we've been working on called Radiator, a post-apocalyptic RPG. So if you never could sign up for the Patreon or didn't want to, you can go watch this for free and subscribe to the channel to get updates for it.
Wonderful. As for us here at the Lollygaggers, tomorrow night, tomorrow is Talk Like a Pirate Day, so I'm running a pirate game. So we're going to do a little one shot where we're going to do pirate stuff and probably talk like a pirate, as the name of the day suggests. Thursday, I decided that I'm going to start up another game, as we are going to be playing Werewolf, different kind of monsters, but we're playing Werewolf. You can catch Jeremy and Melissa in that game. So the new version 5. And then Friday at Aaron will hop back into the GM seat. He's gonna be running us through some Conan. Saturday we got One Ring, and then a week from today we are starting up another game called Fragged Empire. You can see some of the faces here. Chuck and Jeremy and Melissa are in that. It is a indie game out of Australia. It is a space-themed kind of space opera, a lot of different alien crazy stuff. Different than what we're playing. This one's very rules light. That one's a little rules heavier, so we have a kind of a different flavor each night. So hopefully you can come back and catch that. And then the other game we're starting up, but I'm not running this one, so it's okay, is Steven is starting up some Marvel, the role-playing game. We got Schools Out. We're doing an X-Men themed one. And that'll be next Tuesday. Nice. So yeah, lots of stuff coming, and I haven't slept in like a month and a half, so it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. But that's it for us Thank you to everyone out tonight who threw out some ideas, especially those grandmother names. Very, very useful. If you have other ideas for what we could do, or if you want to follow us along, hop on the Discord. You can see us all there. The link is in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube later, or you can see it kind of popping up throughout the Twitch chat if you're watching this on VOD. I'm going to go ahead and raid Talking XP. So go ahead and follow that raid when you're ready. If you haven't followed us on Twitch or on YouTube, or if you haven't followed Chuck, or if you haven't followed Bert or Adam, please go ahead and do that as well. And we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.